We are in March 2019 and just finished one more retreat here with a group willing to give their testimony. I know that you drank ayahuasca before in Peru and you like it. What is the difference between the experiences you have there and the experience you have here?
What I really enjoyed in this retreat was all the group sessions we had together and the workouts, because it made me feel that we could connect to the group and learn from each other's experiences. I really enjoyed that we had this connection in the group and we could talk all our insights and trusting people. I even trusted you, Sylvia, so much because I felt like you were the mother of us all and were giving us good advice about everything. And I think that I learned here to trust more and let go of myself. In Peru it was more about healing, but now it was about trust, and combining with nature it was more soft, a very soft enlightenment, but very nice experience. This is how I felt the difference. In Peru it was all heavy, it was much, everybody was screaming and doing things, but here it was like we could be ourselves and find the inner peace.
So it's more soft here?
More soft, it's like inner peace.
Intention is that in the workshops people understand how can they use their own power. Instead of me being the shaman saving your life, they understand how you can use your own power to deal with whatever happens during the ceremony.
Yeah, the workshop were, how can I say it, were really outstanding. I never experienced something like this. And the workshops helped, and they were so intense, and of course you are a little bit scared, but in a nice way. And the workshop is really something which is connected to the ayahuasca ceremony. I felt it totally. And also a little bit the movies we could see. That was one package in a way, and at least for me it worked out totally.
For me too, I wanted to say that every time that we did the workshops I had the feeling that I didn't have any intentions, or I didn't know where to focus, but after the workshop it was clear like what kind of issues I have and what I have to confront when I'm in the ayahuasca. I already felt that in the workshop, and I become aware of what is happening with me. So that is something, that my intention was cleared through the workshops. I think this was very helpful. Find a purpose, yeah.
Did you find any particular challenge during the ceremony or in any of the workshops?
The workshops were probably the bigger challenge than the ceremonies. Just learning the new tools that you were giving us and putting them into practice. It's not something that I've ever done before, so trying to mentally let myself go and follow what you were saying was quite difficult to start with. But once I had done it a couple times, it just got progressively easier, and it was nice to have those tools coming into the ceremonies because you felt like you could put them into practice.
So it was totally new for you?
Yeah, completely new. I'd never done anything like that.
My biggest challenge here was coming into it and keeping my mind calm, because I am a little bit frantic, I get a little bit anxious. I found the yoga every morning before the ceremony really helpful. The opportunity to get massages and things, as well as Reiki, not just your typical massage. And then just the reflection afterwards, like art, and getting the group sharing in the workshops. I found it really helpful to calm my mind.
So one of the things I was worried about coming here, I watched some of the other testimonials and I saw women my age traveling all the way to Brazil by themselves, so that was nice. And some of the experience they had sounded like what I wanted to have. But one thing that I was still unresolved and I was worried about was, coming here I was worried to be vulnerable with strangers. You know, there were going to be all these people I didn't know. I'd have to work on the things I'm trying to hide. And I was worried, you know, maybe these people won't like me and I'll be lonely, which I figured out was one of my patterns from my childhood, which was pretty cool. And so that experience was the complete opposite. You know, what I was scared about didn't happen. It was the opposite. Like, I love everybody so much, and everybody was rooting for each other and helping each other. I had, all my fears were just unfounded. So that was
In
cool.
every retreat we have here, people coming from all over the world, people at most of the time they don't know each other, and it's like this. You feel safe, you feel comfortable, and you can do it here. You can open your heart. In this mood you enter in the ayahuasca. So you already know the other members of the group and you trust.
Yeah.
That makes the whole difference.
I'm so excited that so many of us are going to Itakari afterwards, so we'll still be together. So I think that will be very fun.
You said you discovered that this was a childhood pattern. How did you discover it?
It was within the workshops. I first kind of realized it with Sylvia's help. She kind of helped me realize, kind of put her finger right on it. And for a second, it was like really startling. I was like, "Is that what it is?" And I realized it is. For the 5 years, you know, I've been stuck in these patterns, and it kind of caused a depression. And I had accepted that. I was probably, you know, just going to be a little bit depressed for the rest of my life, and I accepted that. I was just a little bit sad all the time. And it's so strange. Like, here I got all that weight off, and I feel like back to my older self, which I never thought was going to ever happen again. So that was really great. So I feel like happy and joyful. I got my gift of laughter back. Like, so it's things I never thought would happen. But, you know, you kind of work through that yourself, but Sylvia's there and everybody else is there to kind of help show you gently, kind of, you know, things that you just can't see for some reason. But yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, so I think for me, I was very lucky because there was a last minute change. So someone moved to another month, so I managed to come into this last minute. So I hadn't done any research. My sister did a retreat and she had a life-changing experience, so I knew that much. I think it was very good coming in without too much expectation, but I did come in as a very anxious person with a lot of unresolved issues, it seems. I'd never done therapy in my life, so it felt very alien to me coming into this group and really having to open up with strangers. I found that the workshops were incredible, and honestly, without the workshops and just the ayahuasca, I wouldn't have achieved what I have achieved. The coaching, the exercises, the really going back to your inner child, I found extremely helpful. And it was quite a revelation to see that a lot of my issues that I have today and a lot of my challenges go back to my childhood. And just connecting with my inner child, which was a child, you know, in strawberry fields when I was very young, where I felt happiest, made me feel very content and safe, and really made me see my future in a different way, and my life in a different way. And I do believe it's a life-changing experience. I think it's now just really trying to take those learnings and continue and live them every day. But it really has been a fascinating experience, and I'm very appreciative for that. Yeah.
And you, Gustavo, you have a lot of experience. In the States, you did for a long time the Hofmann therapies.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come here, you were more prepared.
Yeah.
What was new, or what is the difference?
Well, the interesting thing is that I signed up probably like 6 months ago, maybe 6 or 7, was researching a lot. So this is something that everyone should do, just research. And yeah, I have a good foundation as far as working on myself and psychotherapy and retreats, different things, but no ayahuasca, no psychedelic experience ever. So I really didn't come with any fear of what's gonna happen. I was, for 6 months, I'm like a kid going to Disneyland, you know, like, is it time yet? And so I was super excited, and I think my biggest challenge here is me always overthinking and analyzing and trying to figure out what's going on and get answers. And the first few ceremonies, even though I got so many insights. I felt I was still holding back until the last one, and after a lot of the workshops are incredible, and they helped me to loosen up, and finally in the last day to really loosen up more. So all the overthinkers out there, when you hear you have to let go, took me a little bit to get the picture of that. But I can say that yes, all the therapy, everything that I did, it really changed my life. But I really came here knowing that this was going to happen, and all the therapy and everything I did for the past 10 years changed my life. But ayahuasca, I can say now that it did take to a different level.
You said the other day you were talking about higher state of mind, and
Mhm.
that you had no idea what was that.
Yeah, I feel that I have clarity as far as my something I've been working on my vision, on my mission in life, and I live that. And I didn't come here with. I just wanted to take to another level, and it just gave me a different level of clarity with my mission, what I'm supposed to do, and serving others, and understanding how important is the connection in between people, and especially with the nature. The last day that the experience with the nature. I grew up in Brazil. I lived here for 24 years. I grew up going to the beach, but I never in 44 years felt a connection that strong with nature here. So that was very powerful, and it was very different.
Thank you. And you, Philippe?
Yes, I will say first that when you come here, you take a risk. So that means it's the experience of to try something where you don't know the result in advance. It's like a degree or a master. You come here, and first when you speak to other people to ayahuasca, you say, wow, that's a drug. What are you doing in a rational Western world? So I took this risk because I wanted to change something in my life. I don't know yet if it will change something in my life, but I saw new opportunities. I saw a different manner of seeing things, of maybe mastering my life, and to develop new projects. I don't know if I will do it, but I think it's a starting point, and I think that the experience worth it.
So you had new ideas.
Yeah, I have new ideas. I know that I will separate me from old skin.
Mm.
I don't know which skin for the moment, but I think the change is on the programmation, on the program. And what I wanted to say, and I didn't believe, because I'm not esoteric, I'm not cosmic thinking or things like that. For me, that's not it. But as Gustavo said, when I describe myself to this retreat, already the work started. I don't know if it was an illusion, but something changed, started to change, and it was the dynamic. It was like, okay, as you said, you click, and a dynamic starts. And that's really interesting. And I would say that, yeah, as everybody said, you are in trust, you can talk freely. The two people who are the manager here, I call them manager because they are helping you to fit in to find your own way. They are competent, and they hear what you say. They don't have a receipt for you, and for me it was okay. It was interesting.
You had powerful insights.
A friend of me sent me a WhatsApp, but did you need to vomit to learn that? I told you already 10 times. And okay, but it happened here. I took full responsibility to solve, let's say, this problem with other people. That
So even though you were very skeptical,
yeah.
you come here and a surprise happened to you.
Yeah, I think, do you know, I'm a little bit rational. I'm always wait and see. Wait and see. We are under the emotion that the last day, and okay, everything is, we are happy, What will be in 1 week, 1 month, 6 months? I don't know. But from the inner impression that I got now, the level I was here, I'm here. And I deal with other situation, and I feel good.
Thank you.
I think I came in here with goals but no expectations. I think after our first counseling or meeting together, I realized that you were giving us a free choice of what we wanted to heal, and I liked that there was no control on that. And then going into doing our first ceremony, I then realized we also did not have a choice in what we wanted to heal first. Consciously, or would you call it consciously or unconsciously, our brain already knows what is supposed to be healed. And so not really wanting to go through things, it forces you to actually realize your patterns. And mine is mostly damaging myself through substances and physically. And you realize that, you go back to the first day, and it's like, first day is, I actually made a choice to hurt myself, to not deal with everything else. And then I made another choice to do substances, to not deal with all these other things. And then it becomes 1,000 excuses. You're lost in this circle and circle and circle. So my stubbornness was my challenge, and Sylvia and Tio both helped me through that. So thank you.